What's going on, everybody? You are watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Patrick Siepman. Coming up on today's show, a good old-fashioned mailbag where it is me and you chopping it up about your favorite football team. These are my favorite videos I do every single week. We just get to talk some ball for the next 12 to 15 minutes. Let's kick it to Z Cool to start it off here, saying, give me 3 things that are a must, in your opinion, to improve our roster and give us playoff contention and or Super Bowl contenders. So, Z Cool off the rip. I think the Vikings roster as it's currently constructed is already a playoff contender. If you don't even bring in another quarterback, I just think with JJ McCarthy potentially developing in year 3 of his NFL career, that is good enough to get the Vikings to the playoffs. Now, will they make the playoffs? I don't know if they do nothing to the roster, but I still think they would be contenders. But 3 things that are a must, I will say the number one thing I would do, like if I was playing fantasy GM and I could guarantee something for next season, I would say J.J. McCarthy's a top 20 quarterback. Because just like that, the quarterback talk, the quarterback buzz around the Vikings, it is gone. You would have your franchise guy. But I would bring in talent in the secondary. That's number one. You got to address safety. I'm drafting a guy like Dylan Thieneman, or I'm drafting the Toledo safety, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, with pick number 18. I'm trying to get another off-ball backer next to Blake Cashman, whether that's bringing Eric Wilson back, whether that's signing Nakobe Dean. And then lastly, I'm getting another back next to Jordan Mason. And hopefully Kevin O'Connell this offseason finally leans more into the run. But those are 3 things that I would do. Damn, man, what's going on, Brody? Saying, SKOL Patrick, in your opinion, is Viking ownership behind J.J. McCarthy? Don't have a good answer for you. I wish I did. If I was speculating on this, though, I would probably say they're probably lukewarm. I think ownership this offseason has kind of turned to Kevin O'Connell and said, hey, whatever you think we should do, we should do. Now, last offseason, I think they're fully behind J.J. McCarthy, but this offseason, don't really have too much of a feel on that situation. Minnesota fan 1961 saying, do you think we re-sign Speedy? I hope so, but I don't think the Vikings are. Unless a Jordan Addison trade materializes before free agency. I just think he's going to get paid too much. Jalen Nailor should probably get $10 million per year on a 3-year deal. Maybe the Vikings are able to bring him back, but I'm assuming the Vikings are saying, hey, Ty Felton, we spent a 3rd-round pick on you. You got to step in and you got to take over that wide receiver 3 role, and they're probably got to be okay with Speedy walking in free agency. It's tough. Speedy's one of my favorite players on the Minnesota Vikings, but with how much he's going to get paid and just the financial situation with the Vikings, I just think it's going to be tough to bring back Jalen Nailor. This my dog coming in saying, is Taylon Green a possibility? Yeah, Taylon Green, the Arkansas quarterback. I saw he ran like a 4.37 at the combine. I don't think he's a possibility. I don't think the Vikings will be spending a draft pick on the quarterback position. You already got Max Brosmer as your young quarterback backup that you have. No real possibility there on Taylon Green. But yeah, saw he ran a good 40 at the combine. But yeah, don't think that's too likely. Blinky, what's going on? Saying, sorry, Pat, I got to push back on Kyler is a what if. He's too small, so skittish, very immature, too many panic turnovers. He's just Justin Fields with numbers. So if you guys don't know, I'm higher on Kyler Murray than I think most Vikings fans. I just think he's got a lot of untapped potential still left in him. And you know what, Blinky? You're right. At this point of his career, if you were evaluating Kyler Murray, you would probably say, yeah, he's too small. He is very skittish in the pocket. He has shown that he is immature, and he does have those panic turnovers. But with the Vikings infrastructure and what they have built here in Minnesota, where all you really have is that question mark at the quarterback position, I think Kyler Murray, he comes to the Minnesota Vikings, you are seeing him play the best ball of his NFL career with the Vikes. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, how great is that? What's the ceiling on Kyler Murray playing his best ball with the Minnesota Vikings? I have no idea. But I'd be willing to take a chance on that over a guy like Geno Smith, over a guy like Kirk Cousins, or a guy like Mac Jones. Give me Kyler Murray or J.J. McCarthy as my quarterbacks next season, and let's just see what happens, because you'd be taking a chance on those guys. You'd be taking a chance on the natural talent, where Kyler Murray, hey, he's the number 1 overall pick, top 10 in the MLB draft, Heisman Trophy winner. The guy's accomplished. I'll be banking on him, playing his best ball with the Vikes. Now we'll get to more questions here in just a second, but if you guys are a subscriber of our YouTube channel, just hit me with those me's down below in the comment section. we'll give you guys a shout out on a future show. And if you guys aren't subscribed, change it. Hit that sub button today. All right, more questions coming to you guys' way here in a second. But I got to tell you guys about today's presenting sponsor. That is Factor Meals. Now head to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off and use promo code VikingsChat50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Now, cold days are here, which means it might be tough to get to your guys' big goals. And if you guys don't have any time to cook, well, Factor makes it easy Factor makes healthy eating easy with fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. So eat well without the planning or cooking. And I love Factor because it's got no refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. And here covering the Vikings, sometimes working a lot of long days, don't always feel like making a home-cooked meal when I get off work. That's where Factors came in and completely changed my life. So if you guys could, head to factormeals.com/VikingsChat50 off. Use promo code VikingsChat50 off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Eat like a pro this month with Factor. New subscribers only, varies by plan, and one free breakfast item per box for 1 year while your subscription is active. All right, let's kick it to Raleigh. What's going on, man? Saying, do you want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl with JJ McCarthy? That's my dream. Vikings winning a Super Bowl with JJ McCarthy, like, no matter what, I want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl. But if I had to choose, like, hey, next season, out of all the quarterback targets that are out there for the Vikes, who do you want them to win the Super Bowl with? It's J.J. McCarthy. Then there's a massive gap. Honestly, number 2 for me would probably be a guy like Max Brosmer, hometown kid, just who I would want to see win the Super Bowl with the Vikings. Like, yeah, it'd be awesome to win a Super Bowl in general. But it's not like I'm fiending to be like, oh, Kyler Murray in the Vikings uniform or Geno Smith. Like, yeah, J.J. McCarthy, the guy we drafted, like, that would be it. Absolutely, Raleigh. Appreciate you for tuning in. Iron Mike Savage, 303, coming in saying, is Mac Jones an option? It's sounding like the Mac Jones Vikings door is closed. Alec Lewis mentioned in a previous article saying that potentially Vikings don't want to give up any future draft capital for a quarterback. So Mac Jones going to go for a second-round pick. I don't necessarily think he's an option anymore. Now, maybe next offseason, his contract runs out with the Niners. Maybe the Vikings do roll with J.J. McCarthy. It blows up in their face. Maybe he could be an option then. But this offseason, I think the door is closed on Mac Jones. Z Cool, what's going on? Saying, remember all who doubt J.J. because in a year or two, their tune will change. Agree or disagree? Flatly agree with this. I think people view J.J. McCarthy as a historic bust in the NFL. Now, do I think he's going to be as good as I thought he was coming out of college, where I thought legitimately, like, year one right away, I thought J.J. McCarthy was going to be the freaking man. I thought he was going to hit the ground running, but clearly he's going to take a lot more time to develop. And I think NFL fans, it's such a microwave culture where it's like, oh, we got to get our results instantly. Like, hey, this guy we drafted, like, let me see it right away. Like, I guarantee you if the Raiders draft Mendoza and he struggles year one, like, Raiders fans are going to be like, what the hell is this? We drafted this guy number 1. Like, be patient with a lot of these guys. And I think with J.J. McCarthy, like, when he's 24, 25 years old, he'll probably be a lot better than he is now. I mean, you would assume he would be. But how good will he be? I think the ceiling of McCarthy is where I've really changed my thoughts. Because I thought, like, obviously I knew the floor for McCarthy was a lot lower than most other prospects, but I thought the ceiling was a whole lot higher. It's just the ceiling right now for me is like, is he a top 15 quarterback? Like, I think that's his ceiling. Like, I don't know if he'll ever reach top 5, top 10, but can he be like a Baker Mayfield? Can he be Sam Darnold, for example? Like, I think that's his ceiling. But yeah, I think a lot of people will obviously change their tune if JJ does, develop a lot over the next couple of seasons. Mike Nintendo Master coming in saying, should the Vikings bring back Kirk Cousins? I do not think so. I think Kirk Cousins would just be, one, too much noise. I think would be a toxic environment. And also from a business perspective, the Vikings are a business. If you want people interested in your football team, Kirk Cousins is the opposite of that. If you have Kirk Cousins and J.J. McCarthy, I just think it would be toxic with those two guys. And also Kirk, he wants to play the football this next season. If you would have to bring Kirk Cousins in, he's starting all 17 games. He's not getting a quarterback battle with a guy like J.J. McCarthy, considering the situation he's coming from with the Atlanta Falcons when they drafted Michael Penix. Like, if the Vikings sign Kirk Cousins, I think about a week later, we're getting a report where it's like, oh, Kirk is starting week 1 for the Minnesota Vikings. And I think that would be a disaster. Like, would the Vikings win 4 or 5 games with Kirk? No. probably win 7 to 11 games, but the ceiling with this team would be capped with Kirk Cousins, and then you would just be moving off him. Like, at least a guy like Kyler Murray is 28 years old. If you win 10, 11 games with Kyler in your first round exit, at least you could be like, man, should we keep him? Should we try to build something here with Kyler? So I think he just keeps the window open longer than a guy like Kirk. That's where Ghost is going with this next question, saying, do you think Kyler Murray would be able to run the Vikings to a Super Bowl if he comes to Minnesota? Do I think it would happen? Probably not. But if you ran a simulation of next season, I bet you it happens 1 out of 200 times where the Vikings win the Super Bowl with Kyler Murray. You're going to have some breaks. You're going to have some injury luck. You're going to have Kyler and KOC to figure out the system. But if you ran a simulation, I'll score it 100 times. I would give the Vikings a 1% chance to win the Super Bowl next season if they had Kyler Murray. But if you have Geno Smith, you have Kirk Cousins, probably set that at about 0%. JJ McCarthy, maybe about 0.5%. But I think it's definitely on the table. Vikings could win a Super Bowl with Kyler. If you guys made it to the end of today's show, hit me with those SKOLs down below in the comment section. Appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. As always, SKOL Vikes.